Hello. How are you all doing? I still haven't set up my windows. Okay, let's do that. Okay. Oh, and share the stream. All done. All right. There we go. Okay. Hello, everybody. Welcome in. It is a Monday, and we are making games, and I'm not in frame. And I can't be bothered. Just move to the right instead of fix the camera. Should be right. All right. We're here. Live and alive. I was out yesterday. Driving. Fun fact, shrimp is just an undersea alien meat mullet. How do you call it? Like an undersea cockroach. But we'll roll with that, yeah. Alien is very accurate. We've got this. I was driving. The chunks hiding in the seat. In the footwell. That was my Sunday. She likes to ride in the footwell. That's where she demands to be. Fake, you're wrong you're on the wrong side of the car. True. I wonder where you might be doing that. Okay, we've got more enemies to work on. What were we were working on the I'm trying to work out if we've got anything else to do with the current enemies. We've got how many? Oh, we do have a square. We have a square to fill in. Where's A Sprite? Whoa. 32 by 32 is fine. We need to replace this enemy here. I think it's just called ground enemy. It literally does nothing. Actually, one of my... I mean, I think it's a good enemy to have because it kind of like forces a reaction out of you. But it's also like so basic. Ground enemy. Red square. He's not even lined up with the collision shape and everything. Oh, I mean, the visual on screen notify it. But whatever. I don't know what this guy can be. I haven't even thought about it. All it is charging towards you. I don't even think he runs. I don't think he works properly. A couple of wall casts. Probably need to work on the AI for this guy as well. Let's see one in action. That's a 3D scene. Okay. Now, I think the issue is that he actually, when he hits the wall, something goes wrong. Now, I want to trigger... Get rid of that guy. So he's supposed to come straight back, but he never does. I got some printouts that I need to clear out too. Super annoying. So that is a problem. He should fly back towards me. So first things first. Let's close some stuff because there's a lot open right now. Death effect, defeated drone. I need to get some particles and stuff going on as well for some other stuff. There's a lot to do with the enemies to make them more visually appealing. Ground enemy we need to keep. Facility 1 we keep. Okay. So why wouldn't he come back? That is the question. Very old code. Oh wait, I was going to deal with the printouts because they're annoying me. So the first one is the door. That is a 3D model. This is what we want here. I believe we're tracking the time it takes to actually load a door, which it seems it varies depending on the amount of doors that it takes that you have. I don't know where that printout. Oh, there it is. Print time. That's all right. Oh, it's just the delta. That's fine. We can keep the variable just in case. Okay, so that's the first one. I have no idea what this hitbox is. Oh, it's in the hurt box. Because I was trying to figure out what was, it's still called damage detection area. That's so funny. That's so funny. Let's rename that. Okay. Done. All right. That's all the printouts. Now, let's go back to the ground enemy. And yeah, okay, so let's try to figure out what is it that we're looking at here. So, this is AI enemy. Right, okay, fine. I'm more interested in the chase state, because that's when it's like not coming back towards us. It does if it doesn't hit a wall. But if it hits a wall, I think it gets kind of stuck. So we're saying that if the enemy.global position data.range finished. Okay, so if it gets too far past. Hello. Welcome to the chat, Nighttime Crafts. I don't know why I've still got translation on it. It must be like a default setting in YouTube. Edit. I don't know where to find it. Live chat translation. Turned off. So weird. It'd be off by default. Okay, if target position dot distance to enemy dot global position is less than data dot range, finished emit idle. So we go back. So if for I in array, if I dot is colliding, we go back to idle. But I don't ever see that happening. Do they not collide? That's something we can check. They do collide with the world. Then does it potentially go back to idle and then never go back to chase? Is that an issue potentially? What if we just print out the state of this guy? Well, we could just, this is the only time this exists. So like print colliding, I guess, just doesn't really matter what we print here. Just print the raycaster. Because I don't think... I think it would be colliding and going back to idle and then never making it back into the chase state. Oh, okay, so it just never collides. What can we do to figure this out? We could turn on collision shapes. Hit from inside might work as well. Because they might go too far into the wall, if that makes sense. And then, yeah, debug. Visible collision shapes. Are they even colliding? Lots of colliders. It is colliding. State label? Is that getting sent out anywhere? That might help us figure it out. I guess I've had to investigate this before. What's up the police noises? I hate that shit. It just says state, okay. We might be here for a while. Where's the game start object? Move it right there. Okay. So we can emit to that, right? State map created. Just add a script to this. State label enemies. That's fine. And then state map created. There's no signal in the state machine to not signal that the state has changed. Bug hunting or implementing something new. Bug hunting and then maybe drawing a character for this. Because it should just chase you, and when you jump over it, it stops, but it should return and chase you again. I think the issue is when it hits a wall, but I'm not 100% sure. There's issues with this enemy as well. It probably needs an overhaul in general. So state machine, state map created. How does this not have a signal for state changed? Create one. Does that exist? Does state as a variable exist in this? I'm putting an underscore in front just in case. A state, yeah, it can be just state. And then when we change state, state.enter, just emit that signal. Current state. And then, yeah, we should be able to just grab that and pipe it into this label so we can see what it is. Dot equals state.name. It'd be enough. That's just a text, right? It's a string name, close enough. Should be fine. It's still in chase. Okay, well that's that. Now we know that. We know that something is going on with the colliders. So they're not colliding, which is what they should be doing. Ray delay animating. Okay, yeah, there's a little bit of a delay between when they start activating, but that's not an issue here. Exit ray false. Yeah, don't know. So it's not hitting that for Okay. Just go like here, print I dot is colliding, I guess. It is colliding. I can see it visually in the debug. So why isn't it finishing mid idle? Is there something else in this? This is just in the update, so it's like not the best. So maybe there's something there. I mean, they are just collision shapes, so it's not even print. Is that even the right script? What the hell? In the chase state, nothing is printed out unless it's like not colliding, I guess. By in array, is there just not an array? Like, is that not set up or something? It's empty, yeah. Okay, so that should work. Now, why are they empty? I think I must have changed something at some point and the array just dropped the variables. Does happen. Okay. Where's facility 1? Okay, that should 100% fix that. Yep. And now he'll just come back and forth on you, which is what you're supposed to have to deal with. Ouch. Which is... Now the other issue with this guy is if you stand really close to him, I think it gets a bit weird. I don't know. Ouch. Dude. Never mind. It doesn't seem to be affecting him the way I've seen it before. Oh yeah, there, he goes a little bit slower. His speed is different depending how close you are to him, I think. Like if you're really close, the distance is like not that far. Yeah, look. Slow the game down at the top. Wait, can you do that? I died. This is gonna bug out or not? Oh, game speed. I didn't know you could do that. Is that new? Dude, what the hell? That's so handy. Dude, the screen shake. Here he comes. Can you react? Oh wait, no, I'm gonna hold down the button. Playing the game in slow-mo is pretty funny. That's cool. And you can just do this on the fly? Oh, you can. Yeah, see how he like moves slower if you're like really close to him? Oh, well, I don't know, actually. I'm having a hard time like actually noticing this. I'm pretty sure it's happening. Wonder if I can determine the speed of the I could probably just poll the velocity and that would answer my question. Oh, no to me. I want him to be the same. Like he should go the same speed no matter how close you are to him. And what I think is influencing that is like it's using that distance variable to determine the direction. And so the direction is going to be different. We should just make that an absolute variable, not a not actually just putting that in, because then it would be like a different number. You know, it could be higher, it could be lower. So yeah, let me just clear this. And I don't know what's determining velocity here. Set player target. When we enter chase, what are we doing? Direction equals enemy dot global position. Enemy is us, by the way, from the perspective of the enemy. Global position. Oh no. Wait, no. Target. I'm such an idiot. Yeah, target is us. Enemy is the enemy. Okay. Target position is target position plus 96 times direction. So we're going a little bit further, but that's our target position. And then we're saying move, if it's not, then direction equals enemy. Yeah, I think this, so if we just print, Is it? Yeah, it's velocity. I think this is going to be a different number depending on how far away we are. It'll be fairly obvious from that snippet there too. Oh, dude. What do I think about remakes? Like Zelda? What was another one I saw? There was... It is different, by the way. I think they're unnecessary. Games are good. We don't need to remake them. What was it? So there was Zelda. There's a few coming out at the moment. They're doing a remake for Zelda Ocarina of Time. Fable. There's one more that's like really high profile, but I can't remember. Upcoming remakes? I think it only makes sense. Oh, well, also like Final Fantasy VII just came out. It really, like, if from my perspective, a game remake really only makes sense if the game is from a design perspective that is like out of date, so it's kind of hard to play. Like if you played it today, it's not fun because for whatever reason, the older game was not designed well, or you know, stuff like that. It just didn't feel good to play because of the limitations of the time, right? But realistically, from like certain eras, like anything from SNES, I think, like, to be fair, like to Square Enix, and obviously they remake Final 7, that's a money grab. They remake Final Fantasy 7. That game is fine. I think from a visual perspective, maybe you could justify it because that game is not the best looking game. But like from a mechanics perspective, the original works perfectly fine. And Square Enix does get it right. They do just bring their old games to modern platforms. Like you can just buy Chrono Trigger. There is no remake. People are on the subreddit screaming for a remake. You don't need one. You can just go buy the original game and play it on Steam, and it works fine. It's widescreen. They've updated it, but it's still the original game. And they've done that for all of their titles. They've done, I mean, they did the Pixel remakes, but I don't really know how much work was really put into that. But I think that makes the most sense. Like, you don't need to like visually upscale it unless it's like absolutely necessary. And so maybe there's a justification for Final Fantasy VII. And like games you can't get anymore, I think like it's kind of the companies that own the rights to them should just, you know, go in. It really just depends on how the game was stored. Like, I guess there's a limitation there too. Like if no one ever backed up the code, maybe you do need to just remake the game. But like if there is like a working copy of the source code, hey, maybe you can get away with spending less money. You know what I mean? So I don't necessarily like think that Halo 1 needs a remake. Everything is a remix. Documentary series, Kirby Ferguson, everything is a remix. But like, I still think bringing new ideas is better than just like re-releasing Halo 1. You know what I mean? Like, do we need that? The Halo 1 is perfectly playable. Go get the Master Chief Collection. Campaign evolved. Upcoming, published by... It is a remake of the story of Halo 1. Like, what's wrong with Halo 1? You know? Someone explain to me that. Wouldn't it be better if they worked on a new IP, new game? I don't know. Tell a new story, goddamn. But yeah, I mean, everything is a remix. We are just like... So what are they doing here? It features a redesign of missions with alterations to the level design and structure, along with new movement options and mechanics that reflect subsequent gameplay updates. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I guess my real question is like, because the other thing that I think about is like the business perspective. Does it make sense to spend millions of dollars on a remake when you could just like make probably the same amount of money if you just like gave a texture update to the old game. It takes a lot of effort to make a new brand. Yeah, they cheap out. Yeah, of course, because there's more risk. Like, genuinely, I think people, like, companies should just probably be they should probably take a page out of the indie playbook and spend a little bit less money and make more riskier, like, do things to make, like, you know, make games that have more risk involved. But, like, if you're spending less money, the return is greater, so you can, like, fire out a few more games rather than spending, like, $1 kajillion remaking Final Fantasy VII. You know? It really... Yeah. How are you? Also, I know when we talked about the Antarctica Bloodwater, could you Tusk boss be in the water? That'd be cool if the Tusk boss could be in the water. I don't know if I'm capable of doing that. Like, yeah, I don't know. There's a couple of times it's like, it makes sense, but, you know, it's just not something that I necessarily like. At the end of the day, business is going to business. They're going to make decisions that are best for them. But I think they could probably be making more riskier strategies and having it pay off, because there's plenty of games that didn't cost that much to make that make a lot of money. You know what I mean? So... It's the same thing with what's happening in Hollywood at the moment. You know, you've got some movies like Obsession and The Backrooms, which did not cost that much to make, but they are making an extreme amount of money. Like, you don't need to go to Marvel levels of spending to make a game or to make a movie. You can still do that if you want, I guess. But you can also, you know, fund smaller teams, fund different ideas, and potentially get an insane return. And we also, as consumers, get like more interesting games instead of like another remake of a game that came out 20 years ago, or a sequel to a superhero movie, or another Superman movie. Hollywood has been using Synalytics since 2000. What's Synalytics? I don't know what that means, but like, yeah, it's been like that for a while. Better informed. All right, so they're just going off. Yeah, sometimes data does ruin things, right? Like genuinely, as someone who's like, you know, I'm a numbers guy. I work, like, that's my whole job, is just like crunching the numbers. It's like, sometimes it's better if you don't know and you just make creative decisions. Anyway, we need to normalize the direction. They never light a movie unless AI Synalytics matches the numbers. This leads to the same, and milks the current creative streaks. Yeah, so you end up, and it's the same thing. You know, it's like, it's a really good point, because it's like, this is the same issue with AI and using it for creative purposes. It is just a condensed version of everything that has come before it. And so, yeah, it's like, we're going to get less creative. We're going to get Iron Man 10, you know, instead of something brand new with a brand new twist that you never would have thought of. I don't know, man. It's I think it's ruining creativity. But at the end of the day, the only way you can change that is by creating yourself. At least in my opinion. Game objects. What are we looking at? Oh, we've got to go to the ground enemy. Okay, so yeah, velocity isn't consistent. Direction is not normalized. I thought, well, it's not absolute. It needs to be absolute. Godzilla has 38 movies. Dude, that's crazy. Some of those Godzillas... See, and here I am. I'm like low-key. Like Shin Godzilla was like pretty good. But yeah. Do we need another Godzilla movie? Maybe. Is it Shin Godzilla? That was the latest one that came out, right? It's got Hideki Anno, who's, I can't pronounce that, sorry, who's obviously made Evangelion, which is goated, so it's always going to be good. I guess it really just depends on the direction you take things as well. I don't know. I suspect there's a Cinelytics for games, but you've never seen it. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure these companies are making decisions based on that. You know, they're gonna make Final Fantasy VII games until the end of time, because, you know, they know it makes money. Once this, I haven't played any of the remake games. Maybe the DB guys at Steam backend are in the soupy nose. Yeah. Like I haven't played any of the Final Fantasy remakes. I just know that there's one coming out that just got announced, and like I'm assuming it's like the end of the story. I don't know how much they've changed the story. But I think they'll go back through the spin-offs that they put out on PlayStation 2 and they'll go and remake those. You know? The game with Vincent in it, that was a shooter. They're going to remake that next. For sure. We want ABS here. Absolute? No, we want sign. And we still need to like print the velocity. I suppose we can turn off the collisions. Wait, I closed the debugger. Okay, yeah, now it's consistent. Hey, we did it. Now it's super annoying. Maybe it should go slower. Actually, you know what? It's fine. Sometimes the time that it takes to turn around is too quick. But, you know. Okay, so what does this guy look like? That is the question. Because he's just a red blob. I often pictured it as like something that picks stuff up, but like, I don't know how to draw that. So I might just go for the old classic geometric shapes that I've been using. Let's debug collision shapes. So, where's A sprite? I think as well, like, this is the issue, right? I need to like consider making it have speed when it moves. So if I look at like drone, placeholder drone ASE, everything is hidden. Look, I got my perspective lines and everything. So if I'm gonna like continue in this style, which is very like, yeah, very, very shapy and angular, but also round. I don't know, like, you know, it's just shapes with like some colors on them to make them look sci-fi. I suppose you could have something that was like triangular. Why would it charge you? That's the question. Why would it chase you? Why would it do that? Make it look like a little mouse thing. I'll make the canvas a little bit bigger. Like 64 by 64, but like still draw in 32. So that would be the ground. And I think I'm starting to think like I'm also realizing that none of the things that I've drawn have like any way of moving. They don't have wheels, but they will just charge you. So do you do like a half? Like, is it like this and it comes after you? Or do you do it like here? And it's like a triangular kind of thing. Or like maybe we don't go all the way with that. We do like a half step. I don't know. No, that's silly, I think. You know? Just a spike. I don't like that shape. I don't like that shape. Why would it look like this? It doesn't make any sense. What if it was like still a circle, but then on this side it had like something that like charged at you. So it's like, you know, it's still floating there, but it's got this thing here that has like, we'll put like a light on it. There's two layers. And then, yeah, okay, so we can work with that, I think. Basics. Basic shapes. Always reduce it down to basic shapes, I reckon. Makes things a lot easier. Probably, do we have it set a little bit lower? Yeah, probably. And I guess like it probably, is it a circle or is it a different shape? Because like the other one is sort of like a teardrop kind of thing. I suppose we can give it some sort of angle to it. There's a way that you can like outline stuff, but I don't really know what button to press. So this, at least, we'll have to flip it. Like, it's got sort of like a directionality to it, I reckon. I don't think it's symmetrical. We can fix that. We'll just flip it. Which side do we like more? I like the bottom side more. Edit, flip vertical. So it looks like that, and then we'll give it some like, you know, lighting. Should probably just mirror it the whole thing before I like go ahead and draw it. One of them hovers with a claw pointing down. UFO Roomba. Yeah, basically... basically UFO Roomba. Have it follow like that, and then... angles, angles, angles. I don't know if that looks like anything. Kind of looks like shit. not a fan. And I'm sort of going with this blue on the inside for the lighting highlights. And depends on the shape, but sometimes I'll put the darker blue on the inside as well. Actually, I might go with that one. And basically just turn them red when they detect. What if it's just a line like this? As long as the vomit draft is in the tweak, you can tweak it later. Yeah. I just want something that looks more like a designed enemy rather than a red blob. That's pretty much it. That's the goal with these designs. It's not like super serious. I'm trying not to spend more than like a day, which is like, you know, a couple of hours designing it. I don't like this shape up here either. It's too strange. Color it in. Just so that when I put out the demo later on, which is pretty soon, I reckon. What if we made like a line that just follows the outside? Creative streak when it all works, maybe. Maybe. I hope so. And then we'll make it turn red when it sees the enemy, sees the player. Okay, yeah, that's cool. I like that. I'm down. Let's mirror it. Is that the halfway point? I don't know. Almost like a boomerang. Edit. Flip vertical. Okay, let's give it its little guard thing that it's going to charge in with. It's almost like a fish. What are those fish called? Like the dory kind of looking thing? I kind of like the shape that I drawn here. To be honest, it's not as like sharp, but we can sort of make it sharper. Anyone watch the soccer? We won. That's pretty cool. We beat Turkey. Getting one back for World War One, even though that was our fault. Kind of looks, I don't know about it covering it. So I guess the other option is to like come back from an angle like here and then follow it back. Maybe we just go with this. Like, this is the entire thing. It's just like a guitar pick. And it's gonna attack ya. I think this needs to be a different color. Maybe that's why it looks weird. I'm like, this is not gonna work because it's like the same color and it's just gonna blend. So it needs to stand out somehow. I don't know if that's brown. Yeah, no, I think I'm just going to go with the basic. This random ass. Just center him up and we're good to go. Oh, that's not the select button. Just not a red blob, basically. And we'll have to flip him, and maybe for like the charge animation, we can add an animation here. We can add like a couple of frames, maybe 4 frames for that. And for the go 4 frames, we'll just make it float, right? So 4 frames for this. This would be the frame loop for sep loop section. This is the idle frame loop. And this is the charge frame loop. Okay. So this, we're literally just make it float. So like it starts there, it goes probably up first. And then back down to normal. Too fast, but we'll just double it up in like I'm doing like 10 frames per second in the game, so it looks more like this. Also, like these are the same. They shouldn't be. Do we have it go down as well? Oh. Kinda. It doesn't really look like it's floating, but whatever. Okay, and then when it charges, we will turn the light to like a red, so that you know that it's attacking you. Chocobo song. Should have been playing when I was reading about Final Fantasy VII. Okay, well we need to like copy all of that. Okay, so what do we do here? Probably just move it forward, eh? Oh, we could make it like, make it go skinny. What if we did that? Like while we extended it forward. Right? The back. And we'll have it shrink back down. So this should be here. We'll mirror it later on. We'll figure that out. Delete. So, okay. So what if we like extended it? So this one here, the back doesn't go with it. So do we go from the halfway point? Probably. It's gonna be hard for me to like remember what I did. It's this one here. Back 2. Correct. And then that one there. Back 2. Back 1 more. And then we make it skinnier too. How do I do that? That is a little bit more difficult. Yeah, we could just extend it, I guess. Just do like 1 pixel. Pick it. It's like way easier if we're doing it on the angles. Okay, that looks like shit. We'll have to clean it up. So we go down 1. Let's just do the top. This is more work than it's worth. Yeah, let's just extend it. There's my paintbrush. We'll just mirror it, I guess. Yep. Yeah, we're good. Is the paint tool. Oh, okay. Not that. Just make it bigger in pixel size. Okay. Does anyone know if there's a mirror tool in Sprite? Be cool if there was. Flip horizontal is Shift H, Shift V is what I want to press. I should learn these keys. Okay, that was a bit faster. Okay, so now when it chases you, it gets a little longer. It's not the best, but it works. What does it look like when it dies? Can you remove contents using other layer like a mask? That speeds up animating complex things. I don't know, probably. Yeah, what does this thing look like when it falls to pieces? Does it just snap in two? Check that out later if you have something super complex like a boss transforming in places. That's a good point, yeah. We just give these a bit more separation. So that I can draw in there. We'll use like an atlas for this, so it's not, they don't have to be super accurate. I just need to like draw in the shadow for the where it broke, you know. And I think for the other one, I actually grayed out the colors. I haven't done that for the other robots that I've made, but we have it break into, and then yeah, we take this and we desaturate it. We'll turn these into physics objects that'll just like bounce around or whatever. Okay, so that's it dead. Not much to it, to be honest. I guess like if I really wanted to be specky, we would draw it sideways or something, but whatever. It just floats. Okay, easy, easy, easy. Save as. Enemies. What do we call this guy? Fish? Maybe hunter is the better word instead of fish. Okay, let's change the let's change the canvas size down to 32. I never ended up needing the extra space. Even for the broken one, it's still within that frame. Okay. Save. Export as a sprite sheet. give this a new frame here, and we'll call this a new frame loop. Death. And then delete this layer. And then separate these two out so that I can get them individually if I need to. It's not 100% necessary, but it will make it, you know, I could just use the eraser. It'd make it easier to create the sprite sheet. Because then I can go output file, separate by tags. Like so. Go here, and then choose file. Okay. Ground enemy. It's not on the ground anymore. Bit funny. Okay, red dot no longer. You were called the hunter. Okay, so this is what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 H frame. And 3 V frames. Easy. Okay, it needs an animation player. Lowercase idle. Let's turn off some of these. See, collision on-screen notifier is so annoying. I don't want to see it, but also I think you can turn them off in the editor. But I don't want to, because if you turn it off, it never like detects. So what I'm going to do, I could put it behind that, but I could also like just get an export. Notifier. On-screen notifier enabler. I don't know about that one. And then I can say on-screen notifier dot visible. Equals true. And then we just get a reference to that, and then we can turn it off without it disabling the enemy completely. Okay, so turn that off, turn off all these visibilities, because you can turn off visibility of a collision shape, it doesn't affect its functionality, which means you can still see what you're doing without being covered up by a million collision shapes. Okay, so we've got the idle. We go for 10 frames per second. And then, yeah, let's sprite. Create a reset track. Might even be 5 frames per second. Wait, no, there's more than that. Stop. Why can't I, why doesn't left and right seek when you're like in the animation? Like low key. What the hell? Probably should go down first. Is that the issue is here? Like my brain is not accepting this? Probably doesn't linger at the top long enough, I think. Like, I reckon double the frames at the top and bottom. Maybe even triple. And now you're in the center again. Duplicate. And now, here, there. Duplicate. I don't know. It ain't it, I'll tell you that much. I don't need to duplicate the frames because it's set to discrete anyway. That makes sense. So do we need to... So the other thing that I'm also noticing... I really wish left and right. Is that actually here probably should have a key, and it should be not 2 but actually 3. Okay. What's 2? Dude, what the fuck? Start again. I'm so bad at this. What I want is this one. And then this one. And then a double. And then down back to this one. And then you're at the center again. And now we go to 7. We go here. And then we go to here. And then we go to here. It's going to be a little bit longer. And then you're back. Something like that. Still a big jump. What's going on here? Okay, the jump from there to there is no good. This. Delete frame here. Instead, do it visually. It should be this one here. Oh wait, what the heck? When budgets are tight, swap legs for wheels. When budgets dries up, make everything hover. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that jump is too great. Alright, I'm rolling with it. I don't care what it looks like anymore. I think I got it right, mostly. It still doesn't, like, linger at the top and bottom probably enough. Like, we probably need to make it sit there a bit longer. At least it's smooth now. Okay, the return looks weird. Why is that? It sits for double frames. Because it starts there, so this should be the end frame. Put a double pixel movement at the bottom and hang more at the top. Ah, that's a good point. So this is where it should restart, by the way. So we go and it's 1.5. Get that floaty feeling. The hang will break the symmetrical yucky feel. Put a double pixel movement at the bottom and hang more at the top. Okay. So we got hang at the top. And then here, we just go back to that, and then it's 1.2. Let's not linger on this much longer. Kinda. Okay, let's roll. Well, that's it. That's the one. New animation. Attack. So this should be pretty easy because it's much more like no reset track these. It's only 3 of these. Is that right? There's 4. Why have I only got 3? Oh, it skips one. Thanks, mate. Totally. Probably should be a bit quicker, to be honest. We'll go with that, 1.6. Not even really going to be visible. It's just going to be coming at ya. It needs speed lines as well, but we'll worry about that some other time. Okay, cool. So, I guess we need to be animation player aware. Okay, same as last time. So we go, it's set animation player, not get animation player, and then we can play animation player dot play idle. We're in idle, right? And then we go to the chase state, ground chase. We no longer need to print velocity. And then we can say set animation player. And then we will say animation player dot play attack. Really shouldn't be anything more to that. Let's see it in action. And then we can see the gauntlet should, okay, on screen notifier. Okay, so I've given that to a bunch of enemies and then not set it. Just say if. Invalid assignment of the property invisible with the value type bool. Wait. Visible equals true is not. Invalid assignment of property key visible with the value type of bool on base objective type visual screen notifier. What? Surely it has a visibility. What? Excuse me? Okay. Visibility. Visible. Did I spell visible wrong? Well. Copy property path. Okay. I don't know. I don't know, bro. Oh, it doesn't flip. So that's the other thing we need to check. It looks a lot better. I haven't got the death state set up yet. I don't know what I'm printing out either. It's printing something. Oh, it's the flash. That's the other thing that I was debugging. Okay, so what we do is we go to the hurt box. No, it's actually under the sprite value here. And we stop printing the flash because we don't want to do that anymore. And then what we need to do is we need to flip the character when it's chasing. So I always get this wrong. I think I've drawn my characters back to front. So when direction is negative, so let's just create a function a bit easier. Set sprite direction, I guess. Be a vector 2. And it'll be equal. It doesn't return anything. And essentially what we do is we say if dir.x is equal to -1, then we go sprite, which doesn't exist at the moment, create a variable. We could emit a signal, which is probably the correct thing to do. If I want to do things properly. There's probably already a signal for the direction. Signals and noodles, yeah. Action completed, velocity changed, finished. Okay, we've got a signal for velocity. Does the ground have any concept of direction? We do get a direction in the move. So we could put it in that. Enemy motion doesn't have a concept of direction, which is kind of weird when I think about it. I suppose it does here, technically, but we've overridden that. So we could omit that too. We could create a signal here just called direction. And just omit that when we're doing velocity. And you can also derive the direction from the velocity. Like, honestly, you don't necessarily need to know the direction to know what to do. You just need to know the direction you're moving. So that as well is an option there. So we've got ground enemy motion. And we could also say, the problem is we'd need to set that every frame, and I don't necessarily want to do that here. So maybe we need to create a new signal. We'll just do one here, actually. I think at the end of the day, talking through that, we just say signal chase direction. And then signal up, call down, you know, we do that whole thing. We have access to the sprite on this. Knockback, one screen notifier. This is one of the problems of the way that it's been architectured, is that a lot of these scripts are not, they're like the base class script, and I've just attached it, which means that I don't really want to do too much to them, because I know that like all the other enemy sprites use the enemy sprite class. What I really should do is have a separate script on this that inherits enemy sprite. So it does all the things that enemy sprite does. And then if I want to write custom scripting on this, then I can. That's a much more sensible way to do these things. It's just one of those things that, hello test chamber, welcome to the chat. One of those things that I I know it, like in terms of like how like components and all that kind of work, but like the idea that you should also, when you're creating so many different objects that inherit the same thing, don't use the script, inherit the script once it's been written and it does like, you know, ready flash. And if you think that some kind of thing is going to be universal to it, then you can do that. So like we should do that here, right? So we have class name enemy sprite. We actually remove this and we attach it to, we got like enemy data, death effects, state. We don't have like a folder for enemies. Like we got enemies, enemy types, maybe enemy variants. They're all just saved in that one folder. I probably need to go through and like reorganize things based on how I think this is going to work now. And then we can go hunter. And then we can go hunter sprite. Stuff like that. I mean, you could also do it in like the ground enemy script, but that's the same thing. It's using the enemy AI script and it should be inheriting that, not using it. So we've got hunter sprite, we'll create that and it inherits enemy sprite. Right? We have to reset everything, whatever it takes, I don't know. Decay rate, texture, okay, so that's fine or whatever. And then we can emit this signal if I've created it. I don't think I did in the end. Chase direction. ASD, Australian Signals Directorate, must use Godot signals to secure Oz from the Noodle forces. The signal, yeah, they're out there like trying to chase down all my loose signals instead of listening to the Chinese. Which is a vector 2. Right, and then here we don't need this function. Here we can say once we know the direction, we can just emit the signal. Chase direction. Dot emit direction, right? Yeah, signals are a tricky thing because like they're really handy, but you got to be careful. I think I do prefer them over, you know, calling things directly. I think the age-old advice, signal up, call down, is good advice, because at the end of the day, at the very least, with signals, you're not going to crash a game. Where to position them and what is calling what. Yeah, that's the part that can get confusing, right? Like if you're using signals a lot, which I do, when something isn't working the way that you expect it to, it can be very difficult to like try and nail in what is actually calling that. And then the other thing that you can struggle with is like things getting called out of order or getting called when you don't expect them to be. Something that I tell people a lot. You know, I think in when I was doing the state machine videos, it's like you don't really want to use a signal here because a signal will be called on that script regardless of what state you're in. So you don't want a signal calling out to the state unless you expect it to be called no matter what state it is in. So in that case, you're better off calling to the state machine and it doing what it's doing, or like some other way of like finding out that information. But yeah, I think here is a good use of them because we can sort of keep it separate, right? So if the functionality changes, then we just have to do this, and then we can say we are a sprite, so we can actually go if dir.x is equal to -1.0, then we actually don't want to flip. We actually want flip to be false. Believe it or not. Where is that? Flip H. Else if. We're going to do else if here. dir.x is equal to 1.0. Just in case it's like not ever 101, negative 101. It's always going to be that, but we'll be careful. Equals true. There we go. Let's see how that feels. Timing. Oh, yeah, there we go. I think it needs to get skinnier when it chases you because you can't really see it extend. But, oh, then there's no like destruction. Okay, so let's set up its destruction. So we need to create a defeated hunter. And it's just later on the boss uses them as projectiles. Could do. I've been toying with the idea of the first boss summoning different enemies at random. So when it gets to 50% health, 75% actually, 70% maybe. When it gets to a certain level of health, what it does is actually it summons two floating enemies, two drone enemies. But they're specifically drones, and I was like, it'd be cool if it's just like random each time. It just depends. Because the whole premise is that it's the one controlling all the drones. Actually, that is actually not how it's going to work. In my head, there's another boss doing that, but this one is like the big security entity. Like, it's the big boy, and it can bring others to its aid. So yeah, I think it'd be cool to make it random. Making that happen is a bit hard. I'm still thinking about the fact that they show up in the same spot, so they overlap and touch each other, which is like not good. It's broken somehow and spitting out random ones. No, I think it's not in my head canon. It's like calling for assistance because it's getting attacked, and whoever shows up, right? It just depends. But like, it's never going to be explained, so it's not. People will put their own meaning onto it. You know what I mean? If they even think about it. The player will just be like, "Oh, it summons helpers and it's random." Okay, defeat a hunter. Okay, so this is okay. Do we save this? It's going to be under scenes, enemies, dead enemies, dead hunter. Parita's law of player observation. Yes. Dead hunter. Save it. And then add a script. As we said before, the way to do this is it is a broken... Is it debris? No, it's not. It's broken enemy. Yeah, I don't remember the name. Broken body death effect. Okay. We don't need to give it a class name. And then, yeah, we just bring in the rigid bodies, but they're not rigid bodies. Actually, though I always forget this is how I have to do it. Debris. You instantiate the scene is better than like adding it. Enemy debris. We just need two of these. And then you add the collision shape and the sprite. Hunter. Probably better. Do I just make it Atlas? Make this the top one. I should make a video about Atlas textures. I didn't know they existed before this. I didn't know that Atlas textures existed before this project, and it's so nice. It's like, yeah, I just add an Atlas texture and we just We just drop that in. No, we don't do that. We go, oh my God. Atlas texture. And then we go here and we drop this in. And we go edit region. And we drop that in. Like so. How's Angel? Angel is doing good. She's got her stitches out this weekend. She's doing a lot better for sure. I showed that video at the start. I can show it again. We're taking her out on trips. She likes to hang out in the footwell. Just hides there. I don't know why, but it's the only place where she'll sit and not carry on. If you put her in the boot, like so that she can stand up, she will cry constantly. But if you put her in the footwell, she's perfectly content. But yeah, it's good to have her back to normal. This one needs to come up. Okay. All right. So I think that's all I need to do. I just need to add these to the array. When computers had 32 megs of video RAM, you had to pack really efficiently. You can be a little sloppy today if target is desktop. Yeah, pretty much. You don't have to really think about too much at all, right? Like you can just get away with doing whatever. It's the monster. Ah, she doesn't want to come in. Was she outside the door? Rejected. It's okay. She's still a little bit mopey. I mean, she's always been mopey. That's like kind of her thing. Okay. Where were we? Oh, debris 2. Okay, so that really should be all. We have to give it some currency. One, I think it's just called one money. One credit. Min-max speed 100, GPU particles, audio stream player 2. Do we give it some GPU particles? Can't be bothered right now. The Aussie guy who got a grant for this, his title doesn't use them and has thousands of draw calls. So I guess he won't be porting to low-end devices for a few years and late nights. Yeah, I mean, it really just depends on what your goals are. I think it would be cool to be able to do that. Like I'm not capable of like making a really efficient game. But like, you know, the level of game that I'm making used to be able to run on basically nothing, but I bet if you took this and you put it on like a NES, it would not run. You know what I mean? Ain't no way. Like, I don't even know, like, if I run the game. You can actually look, right? Well, profiler. Start the profiler. I don't know what I'm looking at here. Start this one. Isn't there one that tells you like how many memories you're using? How many memories you're using is funny. Video RAM, probably that one there, buddy. 84 megabytes of video RAM. I suppose if you look at like the health, look at the size format. Health and M whole. Why is that so big? I don't even know. That's this here, right? I don't know. Yeah, that's nothing to... Yeah, this is nothing today, but like the resolution of this game is like NES. You know what I mean? So like the fact that it would not run on that device is kind of like, you know, is that an issue? Not really, because I'm not trying to make it run on a device like that, but yeah. No, you no longer have to take any of that into consideration. So I suppose like it's just how it is these days. You don't have to care about that stuff. I don't even think about it. But like this is not a game where I'm going to need to. I've definitely tried to make games. Like I made a game for a game jam a couple of years ago where it was like a Vampire Survivors but 3D, and there was a bottleneck with the pathfinding where I couldn't have more than 30 enemies in the game at any one time, otherwise it would just like grind to a halt. And it was like, I don't really know why this is happening. Let's just put a cap because it's a game jam. It's like, we're just going to cap the max number of enemies to 30. And then that was it. You know? Couldn't have more than that in the level at any given time. What do we need? We need, what I want to do is go death effect. Destructible death effect. What does this look like? Take these and delete it. Right? Your GP, your process material belongs to us now. Easy. I need to make good ones, but I can't be bothered right now. And then assign that. Okay. 30 calls to pathfinding can do that. There is a paper on using Bitmask Array to form machine learning. Other solutions there has been to have bosses and goons. Let 10 goons follow a boss passing. Yeah, you need to create like boids, I think they're called, right? So like a lot of people do that to get a lot of things on screen. I think I came back to that for a couple of weeks afterwards to try and like learn about what the problem was so that I could avoid it in the future. Not necessarily know how to fix it, but like try to just to understand it. And I think what we worked out was that a big part of that was needing them to be detecting the physics. So like you can have a path, right? In Godot, you've got the navigation. But the thing was like they're character bodies, right? We want them to like not go through the walls. And so if you turned off physics calculations so that they just like would actually just go through walls, but obviously they're still following the navigation path, so they can't actually walk through walls because they're not a part of the navigation. You could get way more on screen, but then the issue was when there was so many, they would crowd around themselves and push each other out of the navigation bounds and in through the walls and stuff like that. So there probably would have been like a really rudimentary solution there where you make the navigation path pretty small, but you so that they don't crowd around each other and push themselves out, but you can have way more. Something like that, I think. Formation is another problem to solve, and bosses in Goon code make that easier, yeah. So they just follow one guy, and that guy is doing the physics calculations, or doing all of the pathfinding and stuff. It's hard. Pathfinding, I think, is one of those things where it's like, yeah, you can actually wreck your performance with that pretty easily. Whereas for a lot of the stuff that I'm doing, I don't really have to think about it. There's probably heaps of inefficiencies. Another way is pheromone drops. You drop a calculated object point to a direction at a junction. Yeah, right. So you're just doing like little calculations. Go here, go here. Yeah, you do fewer calcs. Okay, yeah, so this is the defeated hunter. We add that to the ground enemies. Let's rename this to the hunter. The junction now has memory like the magical mouse of the 1950s. Yeah. And then we add the death effect, which is the hunter death. Defeated hunter. We drop that in. Okay. So now... yeah, sweet. And then they just drop. Okay, so we have to work on their visuals. They need to be behind the player. Claude Shannon's Magic Mouse. Okay, what? Hang on. Okay, let me just fix this guy up. Defeated hunter. First of all, the speed at which this flies out needs to be way higher. Second of all, we need to change the visibility to the negative Z index. So ordering needs to be -1 on the Z index. Sounding like a New Zealander there for a second. And then we'll give it a go. That's fun. Cool. Actually, let's go down here and do the gauntlet. Should have like all completely replaced enemies now. Ouch. This one here should be like pretty epic with all the enemies that have been replaced. I think these guys might be a little bit too big. Oh shit. I'm not gonna do it. I'm gonna die. Okay, flying enemies are easy. They don't attack fast enough. Oh. Goddamn. Oh no! I'm all the way back here. That's awesome though. It looks so much better. It fell down the hole. Those guys are affected by gravity. We'll just go through the door. Okay, so note that down for a to-do later. Yeah, let me give another shot to this. I think I can do this. Oh no, it counted as defeated. Huh? I guess it like... I must have defeated the last enemy before I died? Okay. Hell yeah. Some of these transitions are scuffed as. Oh, okay. What does the remote look like there? Just have the one level. I just made a... I caused that same duplicate room error, but like I've got checks in place now to prevent the duplicate from actually happening, but it just looks really weird when it does. It's the transition here must be too close to where you come out of. I have to fix that. Okie dokie. That's pretty fun. There are obviously other enemies here. These guys don't fit. These are kind of like done, but they don't really fit the aesthetic. Right? So they're like red. Yeah, I suppose they shouldn't be looking like that. And then you've got these things here, which I think we can just keep the shape. I like the shape. We just, I also would probably like to change the way that this works because it's like kind of scuffed. It probably needs a delay, I think, and a warning. Like, I think what's best here is it like makes some kind of sound and then attacks you rather than just like flying at you straight away because it's really annoying. There's no time to react. And then, so we've got that. And then the other thing we've got is, this is just a spike. So this probably should just be changed to like an ice pick, right? We are in the Antarctic. So it really should just be like ice, or, I mean, it could be ice. It could be metal, I guess. Debris. It doesn't have to be like pointy shaped, I guess. Right now, it looks like it could be shot. That was something that when I tested, people tried to kill it. And it's like, it's not an enemy. It's just an environmental object. So, we need to change that as well. And then, yeah, we replace all these red things. Looking pretty good. Do some level design over in this corner because there is none. Demo done. Okay, what is Claude Shannon's magic mouse? This sounds hella sus. I can't click this. I'm gonna go for the article. Nervous system, Claude Shannon's magic mouse. 1950, pioneering information theorist engineered a mechanical mouse that navigated a maze by finding a hunk of metal. The project had started as a glorified toy. Oh. Digital computers that could do rote automatic tasks. That is fascinating. Was that like one of the first pathfinding things? Fathers of computers science casually announcing that he had successfully built a machine capable of learning from its mistakes and teaching itself how to improve. Wow, that's crazy actually. Crazy to think that like a lot of this stuff they had back then, but they didn't have the hardware, I guess, to really put it out. Very early pathfinding. Like now it's like, okay, we've got LiDAR and stuff, like the radar systems that we got. There is a video. Which one should I click? TEDx or AI story? That one's 20 minutes. This one's 7. Let's have a look. Oh, this is like OG recording. Hell yeah. Dude, what is this?
This is Theseus. Theseus is an electrically controlled mouse. He has the ability to solve a certain class of problems by trial and error means, and then remember the solution.
I love how scuffed this is.
Learn from experience.
You kids don't know. I mean, obviously the pink probably comes from whatever VHS recording they come from, but like, yeah, this is the shit we have to deal with. Just imagine instead of the pink, there's like static or whatever. Like when you recorded something to VHS and it just didn't work.
Like his classical namesake, Theseus has a problem with finding his way through a maze. His objective is the goal here in the corner.
Oh, so it's like, is it doing like breadth first or whatever they call it? Where it like,
as he finds
well, no,
the
it
correct
wouldn't.
path, he registers the information in his memory. Later, I can put him down in any part of the maze that he's already explored, and he'll be able to go directly to the goal.
The memory of the correction direction inside the junction, thousands of agents can pass through where without a calculation. Yeah.
Without making a single false turn.
Right, so it basically does the OG pathfinding that you do with, like, I don't know how this works, right? But I'm just assuming, like, you know, it's building out, like, its path and working out the layout using, like, if you think about A-star, it basically goes out and when it finds a block, it comes back and, you know, it'll do the calculation again or whatever. That's so cool.
Solving a problem and remembering the solution involves a certain level of mental activity.
Flood fill. Yeah, that's...
and something perhaps akin to a brain. A small computing machine serves Theseus for a brain.
Yeah, the whole maze is prime, but just knows where to go.
Small to contain even a small computing machine. And we have placed the brain cells, if you like, of Theseus behind the mirror here.
Dude, that music too. I love this shit.
This is a bank of relays, telephone relays.
Alright. This is a tough one to watch. That's so cool though. Yeah, it's crazy what they had worked out. You know, like when you hear about that, was it the Turing machine? There was a guy that had like a chat bot back in the 60s that people used to, like his like secretary wanted to talk to it all the time. I can't remember, I don't think it was Turing, but, and it's like, we had that shit. Now we've got ChatGPT. But it existed forever, it just never was popular, I guess, because you didn't have the compute. Alice and Bob are early ones, yeah. It's so cool. Right, yeah, so we got this guy here. I reckon we just like, we can take that shape and just use it. BRB, sorry for the distraction. That's okay. I like it. I wonder where that guy is held. Resources. Sprites. Is it in enemies? Pale bone, sentinel, fish, drone, caller. I think it might just be in the main. Objects, office, NPC, yeah, it probably is just in the main project. Project, assets, placeholder, probably, bouncer, no-go zone, placeholder caller, placeholder enemy, floater, launcher. Is it a launcher? Do we get a thumbnail with this? Sweeper, that's right, I was calling it Sweeper. Sweeper. You are no longer placeholder. Change a few things with the shape. That's weird. They have different lengths? Crazy. Wait, there we go. Gotta think carefully. I quite like the design, although I'm not exactly sure what it is. I guess that's kind of just, it's up to the eye of the beholder, right? Like, don't worry too much about it. It kind of looks like the bat signal, almost. Maybe it needs to be a little bit smaller, I don't know. We'll do the same thing as we've been doing. I'm just going to create like a shape here. That's going to be like the visual indicator to tell you the direction it's going to go, and we'll have it like change color essentially. I think here is where it starts at. This feels wrong. So yeah, we'll just do the same like light colored blue with the darker one on the inside. And yeah, we'll turn it to red. So what we can do with this one, probably, like I said, it needs a bit more time to like let the player know that it's going to attack, rather than just like fly at it directly. We can have it like this, basically transition to red, and then have it move. Probably makes sense that if it explodes as well. The hunter should have looked like this. These guys don't do anything, they're just sitting on the roof. Make it kind of like a little bit longer. We'll call it charge. We'll have two states for this. I think we'll have like a charge and then like a charge up. We're gonna get confused. Do the outside first. 2 pixels at a time. That's probably enough, right? Probably like, rather than delete these frames and then duplicate. 1, 2, 1, 2. Duplicate. New frame is Alt N. 1, 2, 1, 2. That's a new sprite. That is not the right Alt. Press the correct Alt. I feel like I did too many at one point. Oh well. There's a duplicate here. Delete frame. It's not symmetrical. Just realized. God damn it. Start again. It is what it is. At least we have all the frames now. 1, 2. And that did not work. Would you ever consider going into a looks maxing career instead of game development? Hell no, dude. What is that? Looks maxing is when you bone smash, right? Dude, I don't need a bone smash. What are you talking about? I don't have the... number one, I'm old as heck, right? Like, I don't... That's a young man's game. Number two, you like, I literally, I fell over yesterday and now my shoulder is like in pain. Like, I just can't exercise at the rate that you would need to become that person. Like, I literally slipped holding a trailer and now I'm like, yeah, I don't know if I can lift my shoulder above my head for a week. You know what I mean? Like, it's just not, I'm not, my body is broken. I blame all of my years doing sports in high school. Yup. Then we just fill the other one up with the red. Maybe it goes at like different rates, eh? But then it catches up. And also like make it not. That being said, clavicular is pretty funny. If you just look at it from like a entertainment perspective and don't take things too seriously. Because like I always just assume that's kind of a joke, right? Like he's not. Maybe I'm wrong. So then it basically, this will alert you. Once that's filled, it'll charge and attack. Do we have the outside change color maybe? I don't know. We'll roll with that. But we'll have to implement him tomorrow tonight. Because it is 8 o'clock and I have to go to work. Slooper doesn't support that. Okay, hang on a second. We have to save this as an ace. Right. So we can have the frames, otherwise I would lose all the framework that I just did. Not that it's a particularly complicated framework, but we'll do that. Okay. This is the end. Oh, I forgot to turn the music down after I watched that video. My bad. Modeling is fun. I did suit catwalk and movie extra stuff on the Gold Coast decades ago. You meet amazing girls. I'm sure you do. I mean, these days I'm maybe, I don't know. Like these days I think it's a bit different because it's all like... Instagram, right? You would need to like do Instagram stuff and have a following on there before you could even get considered for that kind of thing. I've thought about doing like the extra stuff because like I am on the Gold Coast, so I could do that, but I think it's just a lot of effort. You know what I mean? A lot of time. I also like, I am not the kind of person that likes to look after my body. You know, I'm very like scruffy most of the time. I got a haircut for the first time in 6 months, you know? Where are we going with this? We are going to ending soon. I've got a real job. And it demands my attention. But I'll see you all on Wednesday. Thanks for hanging out, everybody.